Can I tell you something that took me an embarrassing long time to figure out? I grew up watching my mom in the garden every single summer. Huge garden. She preserved most of our food, and I hated every second of being dragged into it. I thought gardening was just work, a chore disguised as a hobby, a very slow, very dirty, and exhausting way to get vegetables you could buy at the store. And now, here I am, talking to you about why everyone should garden. My entire family finds this hilarious, as they should. But here's the thing. The reason I garden now has almost absolutely nothing to do with the vegetables, though they're a huge bonus. And once I explain it, I think you might see it differently too. Yes, obviously, one major reason people garden is to grow their own food. Fresh produce, knowing what's in it, keeping costs down. I have a friend who's an absolute expert gardener. She grows most of what her family eats, and for her, it's about quality food and not wasting a single thing. She's incredibly tenacious about it. Every last vegetable gets used. I deeply admire that. But, and I say this as a person who has absolutely watched zucchini turn into a small log before harvesting it, that level of dedication is not where I live. And that's okay, because the harvest is not the entire point, at least not for me, and I guess maybe not for you either. Here's something that may surprise you. Gardening is one of the activities most associated with the longest living people on the planet. Dan Buettner studied what he called blue zones, the places in the world where people regularly live past 100, and gardening comes up in lesson 1. Now think about why that might be. What other single activity gets you outside in fresh air, away from screens, away from the news, moving your body in low impact ways, using your brain to plan and problem solve, and doing it all in connection with actual living things? Gardening is genuinely one of the most whole body activities there is. And I don't mean this in a wellness content hashtag way. I mean it in a this is why 90-year-olds in Sardinia are still tending their plots way. Here's the thing I think that gets underestimated the most. Gardening is one of the best things you can do for your mental health. Full stop. There was an actual comment on my Substack article from someone pointing out that the microbes in live soil act as an antidepressant when your hands spend time in it. Nature is wild, honestly. But beyond the actual science of it, think about what happens when you're weeding, or planting, or just walking through to check on things. Your mind starts to wander, not in an anxious, spiraling way, in a loose, spacious way. The kind of mental quiet that we basically never get anymore because there's always a screen in front of us, or a podcast in our ears, or a task demanding our attention. Repetitive physical tasks, weeding, planting, watering, give your hands something to do while your mind gets to just drift. That's a pretty rare occurrence in today's society, and I think a lot of us are starving for it without even realizing it. But then there's the planting side, figuring out where to plant what, when to start seeds indoors, what to put next to what for the best harvest. It exercises your brain in a really satisfying way. The kind of problem solving that feels good because it's connected to something real and tangible. There's also something that I don't think we can overstate, which is what it feels like to actually be connected to the earth. We live so much of our lives indoors, on concrete, in shoes, away from any actual natural surface. Digging in the dirt, getting soil on your skin, is one of the most grounding things a human being can do. And I don't mean this in a metaphorical way, though it's that too. I mean it feels different in your body. It just quiets things. There's a reason playing in the dirt is such a staple of childhood. It's joyful, it's tactile, it pulls you completely into the present moment in a way that very few things do. Gardening gives that back to us. Even a single container on an apartment balcony. Now I want to be real with you about something. I think a lot of people start gardening with the best of intentions and then feel terrible about themselves when it gets away from them. Every summer there comes a point, usually sometimes in August, where I'm simply overwhelmed. The weeds have gotten ahead of me. There's more zucchini than we can possibly eat. The beans needed to be harvested 3 days ago, and I haven't gotten to them. And this is where my type B personality fully takes over. I'm not going to stress about the fact I haven't harvested every single thing perfectly. I'm not going to kill myself trying to preserve every last bean. I'm going to let some of it go. Not because I don't care, but because the time I hit the point of overwhelm, I've already gotten every single other benefit gardening has to offer. I've spent months outside moving my body. I've gotten the mental quiet of weeding and planting. I've eaten fresh food I grew myself. I've been grounded in present and connected to something slow in a way that nothing else in my life offers. The harvest is a bonus. It's not a measure of what it was worth. And really, I have chickens, so any extra or overgrown produce just goes to them. Nothing wasted. If you don't have chickens, which is fair, you can harvest seeds for next year and compost the rest. The garden takes care of itself if you let it. So now you know the benefits, but maybe you're thinking, I don't have space. I've killed every plant I've ever owned. I don't know where to start. I actually have a whole other video and article about how to start a garden no matter where you live. Apartment, rented home, concrete backyard, all of it. I'll link it below. But here's the most low pressure, low commitment, absolutely works starting point I can give you. Get a container, put some soil in it, plant lettuce and radishes. In about a month, you'll have a salad that you grew on your own back patio without leaving the house. That is, and I mean this, one of the coziest possible things. You're welcome. Start small, start imperfect. Let yourself be a type B gardener who enjoys the process more than the harvest. That's the whole point. I'd love to hear if you're going to give it a try. Drop it in the comments, even if it's just, I'm going to get one pot counts. I'll be rooting for you, gardening pun intended. If this is the kind of content that makes your nervous system exhale just a little bit, I've got a whole Substack where I write about this stuff too. Link is below. Come find me there. Until next time, stay cozy.